Greetings. Welcome. My name is Swaha, or also known as Adhikar. So this is just a quick kind of an info, talk on relocation astrology, also known as astrocartography. And what this is that, people want to know best places for them to live, or best places for them to do business, best places for them to vacation, best places for their child to attend college. There's a variety of reasons people get astrocartography. And how it's done is that I collect your birth time, birth date, and birth city, state, and country. I take that information. I also will then look at your astrology appointment, your astrology chart, Vedic astrology, as well as human design mechanics. This will be done prior to your appointment, because I assess everything or analyze everything prior to your appointment, so we can kind of see like what state you're in from an astrological point of view, and then what planets are beneficial to you at this time. Now, most astrocartography, accuracy is a big deal, but unfortunately, most are only, somewhere between the 50 and 75% accuracy rate for the right places. I myself am about 98% to 100% accurate with regards to the right places. The reason for that is that I have a well-rounded approach. I'm looking at your birth data, but I'm also looking at what we call your design and form data, so that we can evaluate and analyze, what's best for you with regards to your characteristics of your personality, and your physical form, and so we can assess the best place. And so this takes looking at all kinds of different areas for me to look at as we figure out across the map what's right for you. Then it's going to be up to you, like what your main questions are of why you're even doing one of these sessions. And then you look at, are you going to look at just one country, one continent, or are you going to want to look at the whole world? Obviously, prices vary depending on if you want to look at the whole world, or you want to just look at, for example, say you are living in India and you just want to look at India. You live in the United States, then you just want to look in the United States. It's fine. Okay, it's really going to be what's correct for you. The other thing is you. I'm going to ask you questions as to why you're interested, because people look for these maps, and they do these kinds of appointments for, say they're ill, or they have a friend, a family member who is ill, and maybe it's better for them to be living someplace else. Maybe you're looking for the right relationship. Maybe you're looking to foster your spiritual endeavors, where you're going to be more meditative and be able to tap into that, your spiritual consciousness, or you're looking for, the right place for your business. The thing is that just because I give you a list of areas that are good for you doesn't mean you have to move there. There are a variety of ways for you to take advantage of those areas, even if you don't want to move. And that's the thing. You don't have to move, just because you do relocation astrology. It could just simply be to see where the best places and people are for you to enhance your life, to enhance your world, to enhance your business. Okay? And so I'm going to show you a map here in a moment, so you can kind of get an idea what you would see in an appointment. Speaking of appointments, there are a few different things. One, you can do a live appointment, and a live appointment is online, usually through Zoom, where we go over the maps together, and you're going to get a copy of these maps and email sent to you after the appointment. You're also going to receive a write-up of a list of, the places that are best for you. And and in some cases, if you want the audio, then I will also send you the audio of our session. Okay. And for those of you who do a full session that's live online, you will get a free, 6-month follow-up. Or I should say it's to be used within 6 months after your initial session, because typically most people have questions, what's correct for them and whatnot. And I want people to be aware too that the lines do change. Some of them are slower than others, depending on the planet. But it's so every, so often, every few years, you might want to look at your maps and see where the planets are falling and where can you take advantage, So, and then the other way is, so you have the live appointments. Some people, either due to financial concerns or because they have a challenging schedule, they can't, schedule a live appointment where they're looking at the maps, doing everything live, online appointment. And so in that case, some people just want me to, do it in my own time and then send them a list of the best places for them. Okay, so I do that as well. Others want me to make the audio, go through the maps, but I would be doing that without them. And so then what you get is a recording of me, without you obviously in the session, going over your maps. And so then you would get an audio and a list of best places for you afterwards. All different, all different cost depending on your needs. If you have more than one person that you're looking at, so say there's 2 of you that are thinking about, wanting to know the best places to vacation, best places for your health, or best places for you to move, then ideally it's good for both of you to be in the appointment. If you have a child that's going to go to college, ideally it would be best for them to also be in the appointment or do the appointment on their own, whatever works for you. For those of you who have families and you are really seriously thinking about changing residences and moving someplace else, then you need to debate, with yourself with regards to, do you just want to look at your maps and you're just going to take the family wherever you're going, wherever is best for you? Or are you going to look at, for example, the other adults in your family and see what's best for them as well? Are you going to look at the kids in the family as well? Every person that's in that family, you're going to look at them all, so that's just something to keep in mind. So it takes long, the more people that I have to do maps for in a session, it takes longer, just know that. And, it's, for people who are actually thinking about changing residences, and you may not know right off the bat. Maybe you won't know until after the session whether or not you seriously want to move. That's, you just need to make sure that when you have more than one person, that you may want to consider where the planets are and everything for the other persons in, that may be moving with you. Okay. And they could be broken up, obviously, into more than one session if that's what you prefer. So I'm going to bring up a map so you can get an idea. I use many mapping programs. This just happens to be one of them. So if I have a session with you, we may be using this program or we may be using another program. It all depends. So this is just an example. This is an example of someone's map over. And these are planetary lines you can see here. Here, for example, this is the Sun. Over here you have Mars. Over here you have Venus, Mercury, Jupiter, and Saturn. And this is over the United States. Okay, and obviously parts of Mexico. And so I would look at this map. Obviously, like I said before, I would have previously to this appointment, I would have gone over their Vedic astrological charts, just kind of get an assessment of where they're at in general. And then also their human design charts, also be looking at that as well. And so in a reading, so say someone just wants the United States, they would have two maps of the United States, one that maps their birth data and one that maps what we call their design data. And then I make, so we would, in a session, we flip back and forth between them, so we can, go over best places, for example, anywhere from career to the physical body. Okay, so, and it just depends on what's going on in your astrological charts, the best places for you. For example, Saturn's not the best for everybody, but it is good for some. All right, and so you may be living here. Now you'll see how these have arrows. They look like arrows pointing east. Okay, so they're pointing east. These are pointing up towards the heavens. These are pointing down towards the earth. And I go over more information than this in the actual astrocartography session. All right, so just because you're having a relocation session does not mean that you have to move. You may very well like where you live and enjoy where you live, but say you want your business to do better. Say you're looking for, to enhance your spiritual life, or you're looking for more productive networking relationships, or even personal intimate relationships you're looking for. And so, you may like living over here in California, but for example, from a business perspective, I might look over here for Jupiter potentially and say, oh, okay, we have Nashville, and we have Memphis and Mississippi, and we have Kentucky, who's kind of over here more where Saturn is. But we may say, okay, that, well, in general, your Jupiter, now again, this depends on all these other variables with regards to your charts, but that Jupiter may be best for you, like depending on what your business is. Say you're someone who, is looking for a new market for your business. Well, in this case, you might want to look in Nashville or in Memphis area, all up through here and down through here, in fact, and on either side, and because we'll go into this of like all these different areas of how specifically you can address those different areas to enhance your specific business. And we go into details about that and what you can do, where you would go, physically go, but also from a PR standpoint, for example, okay? Likewise, if you've got someone, a child who's looking for the right college for them, well, obviously they're looking for the right college based on potentially their subject matter that they want to major in, but you may also want to, encourage them to look at the colleges that are of benefit for their physical well-being as well, okay? Not just because, this college or that college is, here or there, but it is actually what would benefit your child's well-being while being there, attending that college, how they would do, So this is kind of just with one person. Now, if we have more than one person that we're looking at an appointment, so then you're going to see multiple maps. So you're going to see maps like, so say you have a husband and wife, okay, so you're going to have, in this case, we look at the United States for the wife, both from a design perspective and personality perspective. Likewise, we'll do the same for the husband. And then we'll look to see where they can harmonize, as a couple, and where would be best for them to live or to vacation. because some people just want to know the best places for them to vacation, where they're going to get the most relaxation, for example, or where they're going to be able to, finish that book they've been working on. So it isn't always about moving. Okay. So this is just to give you an idea of, what will happen. And obviously when you do the world, you get a lot more maps. Obviously if you're just doing one country, then, usually limited to 2 maps, unless you have more people in the session that we're looking at. Okay. So, feel free to connect with me if you have questions, and schedule an appointment. One thing I will mention that, prior, obviously before we schedule, I'll need to have your birth data, and you will have to allow some time for me to gather all the information, do the maps, review the maps, but also review your other charts before we have a session. So you may have to be patient so that I can get that done before we schedule your appointment date and time. Okay? All right. Take care, and you have a beautiful day. Bye for now.